Yes, this is Kayak Spasm Graphics. We are going to create the video you've just seen. So let's begin. Shall start by creating a composition. Shall call it main. It's 1920 by 1080 pixels, 10 seconds long, can be less, and black background. Now let's create our text using the text tool. Let's write the word animations, highlight it, and let's align it in the center of the composition in the align panel. Now we're going to create a background which is a solid. Right click, new solid, and we're going to call it back, and we are going to move it at the bottom for it to appear in the background. Now we are going to create a mask on our word animations. It's going to be a line mask, so we're going to use a line, a pen tool to create a line. So while your animations is highlighted, click around here and click shift on your keyboard to create a straight line. Now we have created a line mask on our word animations. Now come to the drop down, got masks. It's here called mask 1. Let's rename it, call it line mask. After that, let's go to the text option, come to path options, and let's select our line mask. You can see in our composition it has appeared closer to our mask. So they will give you these options which you're seeing right now. There's first alignment, first margin, and last margin. So we're going to be using first alignment first. If it's not on, please turn it on. When you turn it on, you can see that our word animations has aligned itself to our mask. So we're going to use first margin and last margin. So move your line indicator here 1 second in front. Let's first also reduce the work area around there, 1 second in front. First margin and last margin, put them to first margin, put it to 300, last margin, put it to -300. And let's start our stopwatches for first and last margin. To create keyframes, go back 1 second and bring them back to 0. So when we preview, you can see that our word animations is being stretched and brought in the center. Now to get a smooth flow, we're going to highlight all the keyframes, right click, keyframe assistant, and we is to get a smooth flow. So when we preview, yeah, right, nice. Now animations is done. Next we're going to create the pop-ups, the circular pop-ups that you are seeing, so they will start around there. So we're going to use what we call an ellipse tool. So we go to your tool menu here, click, and you select ellipse tool, and make sure the fill option is turned off. Click on the word fill, make sure this is selected, and make sure that your stroke is 7 to 10 pixels, and choose the color that you want. So now we're going to create it around here. So click shift on your keyboard to create a perfect circle. Now we're going to first rename it and call it circle. Now you can see that our anchor point is around here. We are going to scale up this circle and want it to scale from the center. So we have to make sure the anchor point is in the center of our circle. If it's not in the center of the circle, then this is how we're going to do it. If it is, then nice. So now what you make sure that your layer is selected. Click Control on your keyboard, come to the pan behind tool here on your menu, double click it, and your anchor point will appear in the center of your layer, as you can see here. Now we're going to start animating it. We're going to use scale. If you can't find scale, drop down, transform, and come to scale, or you can click S on your keyboard. Now we're going to move a few frames in front, and we are going to start our stopwatch, create a keyframe, go back around there and move it to 0. So when let's first reduce our work area around there, around here. When we preview, yes, you can see that our circle is popping up. So I want it to disappear, so we're going to reduce the length of our layer around there. So we move our indicator to where we want to cut it from. Cut it from here, then click alternate on your keyboard and closed square brackets. and they will cut the length of your layer. So now if we preview, it pops and disappears, pops and disappears. Let's reduce a little. Pops and disappears. Now let's highlight and make a smooth throw. We're going to highlight our keyframes, right click, and easy ease. Yep. Now we want 3 of these. So we are going to duplicate and create 2 more. Control D on your keyboard or copy and paste. So Control D, we need 2 of them. So let's select the 2 of them and move them around here. Let's get our selector tool from here, or you click V on your keyboard. So it's around there. So we're going to move them. Click Shift on your keyboard to move in a straight line around there. Also, let's move also the last one. Sorry about that. Let's move it. Shift on your keyboard, move in a straight line around there. So now if we preview, coming at the same time, so one different times, let's move this in front around there. So when we preview, wow, yes, yeah, nice. Let's preview. Yeah, let's move them a bit here. More of this. Niceness. Now we're going to move them a little bit up by using the up arrow key on your keyboard, or you can move your selector, select them and move them up. So now we are creating space for our curve. Now to create a curve, we are going to use a pen tool still. Select your pen tool, come around here, click also around here, or shift, make a straight line, then drag it to create a curve, and also click around here and drag it to create your perfect curve. Yes, around there. So we have created a curve. This is what we are going to be animating. So we're going to rename it and call it line. And now we're going to go to the drop down of that layer, contents. We got add and look for trim paths. So when you click on trim path, they will add them here. Go to your trim path drop down. We're going to be using start and end here. So we're going to animate from where our circles pop up from, around there. So start and end, we are going to move them to 0 both, and let's start our keyframes. Move in front, and let's take them to 100. So when we preview, there's nothing happening. So what we should do is either highlight this upper 2 or this lower 2 and drag them a bit in between. So if we preview again, you can see that our curve is being animated. To reduce the space in between, you do just have to play around with these keyframes, highlight them. Keyframe assistant is ease. So as we saw in a video, this one is coming from left to right. So if you want it to come from right to left, you just have to right click while they are highlighted, keyframe assistant, and time reverse keyframes. So when you animate, they are coming back from, the curve is coming back from right to left. Let's go back to left to right, undo, and you can see that. So now that we have created that line, we need a second one up here. So we just have to duplicate, Control D, and with the selector tool and move our curve to around there. So now if we animate or preview, wow, can even make it interesting. Go to line 2 to see its keyframes, press U on your keyboard, highlight them, the keyframes, right click, and keyframe assistant, time reverse keyframes. So if we preview, wow, they're coming from different directions. Alright, I think this animation is done. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more. Bye bye.